What's up, guys? And today we have a review of a model that I've wanted for quite some time. This is of the Volvo A40F with K-Tec ADT Series 1233 Pullpan. This is produced by Motor Art in 1/50th scale. I'm going to preface with it's a fantastic set. It really is. There's just a couple things that kind of ruined the model for me. Now, the K-Tec itself, the actual Pullpan itself, in my mind, is absolutely perfect. The main flaw in this model, and this is something that I only know of happening to me, and it's actually this spring-loaded connection pin right here. It did not come. There's an actual plate that holds it in place, and it did not come in place. It didn't come where in like it should. It should. This plate, little thin plate right here, it should come screwed or whatever, or glued or something in place. That holds the spring-loaded mechanism, which in turn holds the pin in. However, as you can see, the plate is loose, so it tends to fall out. Another issue is where the hydraulic lines are supposed to hook up, this little box, it does come off easily. Now, that can be fixed with super glue. However, I want to leave this model unaltered for the review. So anyways, to start with the A40F, the hood opens, and it reveals a very decently detailed Volvo motor. And that's one thing, Motor Art gets the fine details all right. However, they just seem to mess up on their models a lot. And I'm not saying that because they produce Volvo models. I'm saying that as a collector who has a few of their models. Now, I don't collect Motor Art religiously. Actually, I wasn't even planning on getting this model. However, I did on the last second, sort of. It was an impulse. Let's leave it like that. You do have this little plastic windshield wiper up here and plastic mirrors. They do have silvered surfaces, but they're not reflective. The handrails and steps and stuff, all of this is just plastic. The steps and all that, pretty much anything that's gray is plastic minus this stuff here on the hood and stuff. The exhaust and stuff, very flimsy. It feels like it's gonna fall off. However, it looks good. Inside the cab, you got some nice fine details with the seat and the steering wheel and a few other things. Yeah, so it does steer to a very decent degree, and it is on actual cylinders. It does oscillate a little bit. Underneath there is a drive shaft and all that. Here's pretty much what the underneath looks like. Now this is where it varied from a typical ADT, and it does actually have like the places of where the cylinders would go and all that sort of stuff. So here's pretty much the connection point for this actual scraper itself. This is where the actual dump bed would bolt on. However, on here it is has the hitch bolted on. Here's the box where the hydraulic hoses would connect in, and it does open. It's a half plastic, half metal piece. And it does just sort of fit in there. Again, there's that troublesome ass hitch, or hitch pin, which is very annoying. Here's the screws and stuff. They are easily removable. However, as you can see, they're not really in there flush, as you can tell. And yeah, you have this one little work light back here and other stuff. It does roll relatively easily, as you can tell, as it should on the Cranes Etc. real life speedway test. So we're gonna move that aside, and we're gonna actually hook it up in a little minute. Here is the K-Tec 1233 Pullpan. It's a 33 cubic yard Pullpan, and it's the same, relatively the same size as a 631 Caterpillar scraper, if you were wondering. So it does have this like little location arrow style way of hooking up, and a nice amount of hydraulic lines bunched together. And you can see the hoses going from the gooseneck, and they are very nicely replicated. And I do go into these actual solid, very thin hoses. Very nice indeed. It's nice to see that there's a different color besides yellow, gray, black, and the typical colors that we see with some purple on some construction equipment, which is something we don't see often. Up here on the gooseneck, K-Tec ADT series. Little warning graphics on the tube beam. It does the apron. It does open up, and there is some nice bolt detail on the cutting edge. The ejector functions as well, as you can see, and it does go out all the way. On the back, the wheels are completely independent of each other, as you can see. Even though they can be sticky at times, but they are completely independent of each other, which makes it very easy to steer. Here you got two rear lights, and they are covered up by guarding that is actually etched through. Here you have your push bar and two little chain hooks. Again, it's a very heavy, very nice metal piece, and this is really what makes the set. It really does. It's not the truck. This thing right here flipping steals the show. It's got very nice etch work on the back, as you can see. My hand, hi, how you doing? And more etch work up here. You have the K-Tec logo actually not etched through, but etched onto the apron itself, which is very nice. Here's the other side. It's the same. Again, more small details. Hardox. I don't know what that is. Hardox. If anyone knows, please tell me. It's on there probably. I just don't pay enough attention. But you did get a very nice turning range with these individually rolling tires. It also can be a pain to get them all to roll at one time as well. The one point where the actual pan itself does fail is on the carry height. It's not very high, but I can let that slip. It's a very nice model. It really is. So we're going to hitch it up to the Mama truck. And here it is, all nice and hitched up. You can tuck these lines off to the side. And it's a very long model. It really is. That's an 8x10 photo right there. And as you can see, it's very long. It won't even fit onto the frame. Together, it looks great. It really does. It's a fantastic model. Now, out of 10, I would rate it a solid 7 out of 10, honestly. The truck and the way the hitch point is, it detracts from it. And once again, the hitch thing comes out. It's a great model. The K-Tec is what makes it. Honestly, if you were buying this model just for the Pullpan, it would be amazing. It's an amazing model, this here alone. The truck is a nice addition. I hate the way it hooks together. I really do. The engineering on it's, yeah. The quality of it, the build quality, unlike the EC480, which is my first Volvo model, it doesn't feel like a toy. It feels like an actual die-cast model. It's a great feeling model. It looks great. It is great. And, you know, if you want this model, if you're contemplating getting it, get it. If you're on the fence about it, I would get it. Just be warned that there is this little issue with the pin that you gotta be careful on fixing, because if you super glue a little too much, you might fuck it up for good. However, you know, that's just my opinion. So anyways, guys, that's really it. I recommend this model. There's not really any competition to it, so I can't say that there's anything better than it, because there isn't any competition, obviously. But anyways, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a good one. Happy New Year, guys, and peace out.